Michelle Torrio, and this is the Be Mindful podcast. Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Be Mindful podcast, and happy holidays. I can't even believe that we're already here. It came by so fast. When you're watching this, I know it's right after Thanksgiving, so I just want to say that I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, whether you spent it with friends or family or even by yourself, just to have you time. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving and really just use that time to have gratitude for that moment and be grateful for all of your blessings. And I also hope you ate a lot, because your girl ate a lot. And there's absolutely no shame in that, because your girl loves to eat. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about how you can thrive during the fall by creating a balance with the holidays while still working on yourself and your self-growth. If you haven't watched episode 27, I do talk about starting your glow up journey. So I do recommend you watch that first and then watch this one so that you can stay on track during this fall season, and then you'll be ready to go when 2025 starts. So I'm going to share some practical tips so that you can stay present with your loved ones, with yourself. Also, just how we can manage our seasonal stress. During the fall season, I noticed that I have a pattern of kind of just like putting things to the side and really like stepping into fall mode where I don't want to do anything. All I want to do is snuggle up, be in my pajamas, and just watch movies, stay home, have hot chocolate. I don't want to really do anything at all. But obviously life goes on, and it's recommended that we continue to work on our goals, continue to work on ourselves, but we're going to make sure that we balance that in while also enjoying the holidays. Fall is a transitional time, not just based on the season, but really a good time to reflect on things that are working and what aren't working so that we can let go of those bad habits, whatever that may be. So how can we stay grounded during the holidays? How can we stay present? First, let's talk about the importance of being present, especially during this time. So we know in the fall, this is holiday season. This is when we can connect with our family, our friends, and really just be present with them and with ourselves. These moments are so important to reconnect with others and really see the love and support that we have in our lives, because these are moments that we just won't get back. I understand that life continues and life goes on, and there's errands and tasks that need to be done, but those moments you have with your people, cherish those moments. So one of the ways that we can be present during this holiday season is, let's say that you're baking something for your family, or you're prepping something, you're cooking, whatever it is. Be present in that moment. Turn off your phone or turn off the notifications, turn off your TV, like really embrace that moment, especially if you're like doing it with your family members. Have that time to reconnect with each other. So this leads into my next step to being present, is just really unplugging. I get that during the holidays, we want to take all the photos and get all those memories, which I think is very essential. So if you are that type of person that doesn't like taking pictures, I recommend you just take a moment. Like, it could take less than a minute to just take a photo, because it's great to look back at those memories. And this past Thanksgiving, we had it at my aunt's house. Me and my husband split, went to my aunt's, and then we went to his uncle's. And at his aunt's, we were able to take a moment to get together and take a big photo all at once. And that could be really difficult, especially with really big families. We didn't have the time to do that with John's side, which is okay, but it was still so nice to be able to be with them, which matters the most. At my aunt's, we ate, we sang karaoke, ate again, sang karaoke, and then at John's side, pretty much the same thing. We ate and sang karaoke, some of them danced, and we were by the fire pit outside. It was such a beautiful moment. We really weren't taking a bunch of pictures, and we were just really present with ourselves, especially seeing family who lived so far and was able to be there. It was such a blessing. And of course, let's not forget gratitude. So I know when it comes to gratitude, we could write everything down, which I still highly recommend, but this is a tip that I recommend that you do the next time you're around your loved ones. So there'll be moments where I'm just kind of sitting there looking around at my family and friends, watching them smile, laugh, and just observing everything and just soaking everything in. I highly recommend trying this out, because it's one of my favorite techniques, and you're really stepping into the frequency of gratitude. Gratitude is I think almost the same frequency as love. It's way up there, and you just can feel it. You sense it. And sometimes I even start to kind of like get watery eyes, because I'm so grateful. And it really allows you to just focus on your present moment and what you have, and letting go of what's happening later on, focusing on the future. You're focusing on right now. So a challenge I have for you this fall is next time you're working on something, whether it's cooking or maybe you're wrapping some gifts for Christmas, be present in that moment. Focus on that. And when we focus on the present more often, we have less stress because we don't have anxiety about the future or what's to come. You're really enjoying that moment. And the feeling is just so fulfilling. Now that we've talked about being present, let's talk about how you could stay on track with your goals without sacrificing all the fun that you're going to have during the holidays, because you could do both. It's very, very easy to lose focus during this time, especially since we're so used to the past. When we were kids, we would have maybe a whole week off for Thanksgiving, maybe a couple weeks for Christmas, and we wouldn't do anything. We wouldn't want to do any homework. So I feel like a lot of us have never really left that phase. And so when fall comes, we kind of tend to put things aside. And that's something that I really don't want to do this year. So we're going to work on this together, right? Let's go. Let's do this. So one of the most important tips I do want to share is your routine may not be exactly the same, which is okay. The holidays in general are so chaotic sometimes because it's not just you preparing for, let's say, Thanksgiving, right? That just passed, or Christmas. Maybe there's holiday parties with your friends or family, or maybe for your work. And then on top of that, there might be even birthdays that are happening around this time. For example, I'm going to a baby shower next month, and I also have a work holiday party, and I have another party that I was invited to my friends, but I don't even know if I could go to that. So basically, there's just a lot going on. So if your routine is not perfect, it's okay. But let's make it a goal to work on ourselves each week, even if it's a little bit different than what it was before the holidays. So for example, if you're working on a specific task that's towards your goals, you're working on your personal growth, whatever it is, turn on some music that lifts you up. Make it fun for yourself. So for example, recording episodes sometimes can be a little bit daunting because of the setup and preparing. And it's always my goal to make sure that when I show up on here, I have fun doing it. I have to mentally prepare myself so that I show up for you fully. So if I'm coming in all hot and stressed, like, oh, I have to get this done, it's not going to be as enjoyable. So whatever you're working on, do your best to make it fun. That's how you're able to create and do things in a flow, because you're making it a priority to have fun. So I have been doing therapy for the last couple months, and it has been a game changer. And one of the things that my therapist has shared with me that I love and has helped me so much is just knowing that either way, life can be tough, and there's always going to be challenges. And in all that we do, in every task that we do, everything that we work through, there's sometimes just challenges that arise, but knowing that that's just life, and knowing that we are going to get through those challenges either way, it gives you a sense of relief, just knowing that you are capable to get through anything. And why not try to make everything as fun as possible? Because life is just so short. So why be too serious all the time? Another tip that's going to help you stay on track with your goals is counting your small victories. It does not matter how small it is. Recognize it, acknowledge it, and be proud. So for example, let's say that you're trying to organize your room, your home, and just kind of clean up before the new year. Of course, this might be a daunting task because maybe you have a lot of things that you need to get rid of and organize. But let's say you just work on one thing at a time, and you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to work on these 2 drawers today. And let's say you don't finish the 2 drawers and you just get one done. That is still progress. Always remembering baby steps, because if you look at it as a whole, as a big project, it can be a little bit overwhelming, but maybe you could just break it down and tell yourself like, okay, each week I'm going to focus on this section of the house, and then I'm going to move on to this. And if it's not perfectly in order and maybe you don't get to everything, at least you did some, right? And acknowledging that is necessary because it's something to be proud of. Remember, progress is progress. Another thing that's going to help you stay on track during this fall season is having accountability. So find an accountability partner that you can trust to check up on you or just call you out. So for example, for the last a month and a half, I have been going to the gym at 6 a.m. pretty much every single week. And I go with my husband and then also my cousin. At first, it was just me and my cousin, and it influenced my husband. So it's pretty awesome that he gets to go with us, but he does his own thing. But because my cousin and I made this decision together, it has been so helpful being each other's accountabilities. And it's so funny because we'll literally admit to each other that, you know, I didn't even want to come today, or I didn't even want to get out of bed today. And the only reason I came was because you came. She has been such an awesome accountability partner when it comes to my fitness goals. So if you are working on anything specific, find someone that you could trust so they can keep you on check. So a challenge I have for you today when it comes to staying on track is writing your goal and creating steps and then putting it into your calendar. Your calendar will be your best friend if you utilize it. So using your calendar with all of your steps in there, it's going to give you a visual and give you a solid plan. So we talked about being present and we talked about staying on track with our goals, but the most important thing I did want to talk about today is taking care of yourself. Because in order for us to thrive this season, we can't just be doing. We have to feel our best too. Because when you recharge yourself, you're setting yourself up for success so that you could show up for your goals, and then also you can really enjoy this holiday season. I want to remind you too, there's no perfect balance. Everyone's type of life balance is always going to be different because our lifestyles are completely different. I used to feel guilty for not doing certain things for myself because I felt like I wasn't balancing things the way that I should based on what social media was sharing with me. I had to recognize, like, realistically what type of balance works for my lifestyle. And that's important. That's actually a tip my therapist gave for me. So hopefully that helps you. So when it comes to taking care of yourself, it doesn't have to be anything extravagant, luxury. It can be something so simple. So for example, it could be just quiet time in the morning for yourself. So for the weekends, I really try my best to get as much sleep as possible. Not that I don't get enough sleep during the week, but those are my times for myself and me to just spend mornings with my husband in bed, maybe just talking. Just slow mornings are essential for me, especially on the weekends. What I love most is when I just kind of wake up whenever I want to, grab some coffee and maybe listen to a podcast, watch YouTube, play on my Switch. I did that the other day. Those moments mean so much to me, and that can be something maybe that you can incorporate for yourself that maybe you may just need. Another way you could really take care of yourself this season is to not overcommit to too many things. Whether that's declining an event that doesn't align with your priorities, or maybe setting time limits when working on specific tasks. Either way, boundaries is going to help you maintain the balance you need so that you could show up fully. And one of my other favorite tips is to go outside. Go outside, enjoy nature, enjoy fall, enjoy the cold. I love these seasons. I'm not really a cold person because I'm always cold, but when it's here, it's so fun because you get to put on like your thick sweaters, maybe wear your Uggs, and just enjoy the crisp, cold air. Put your phone down, silence it, reconnect with Mother Nature, and just enjoy it. Something about being outside and connected to nature just always brings me back to gratitude and the present moment. So get outside, girl. Get outside. But of course, there's so many different ways that you could do self-care. So doing things more of that you enjoy and love, do that. Put it in your calendar and make it an effort to not put it aside because you matter and you're important. So kind of similar to what I was saying earlier, scheduling your plans, right? And scheduling your self-care, that's going to be essential, especially during this time where it's a little bit crazy and there's a lot going on. So scheduling that self is going to make sure that you balance working on your goals, and then you're also balancing yourself, your self-care. That's what's going to make a big difference and really help you with this life balance, especially during this fall time. It's really all about being very intentional with your time. So if you haven't started your Christmas shopping, I recommend it. I recommend you do that now. That way you can just avoid the stress and you can avoid the anxiety of doing all these things last minute. So if you haven't started, this is your sign to start. Pretty much everything that I've shared so far in this episode is really what's going to bring you balance. It's scheduling in the things that matter to you most, saying no so that you don't overcommit to everything, and giving yourself the ability to not be in a perfect routine flow. Like, it's okay. And what makes the holidays even more fun is the decorations, the music, even the updates of coffee and like all of their seasonal drinks that they have. Really step into the season and embrace it. I used to be so hard on myself, thinking that I had to have everything perfect, I had to stay on task, and sometimes I just got so overwhelmed that I really did put things aside and kind of just would not start again until January. That is not my goal this year. I still want to stay on track. I still want to work on myself and really just focus on my growth. But I also want to enjoy this holiday season, which you should too. We all deserve it. I really hope this episode was helpful and just kind of reminding you to give yourself grace during this time, because this is already a time of transition. And because of this transition, it can be a little bit difficult adjusting, especially because it gets dark so much faster and it makes us not want to do anything and just be home in our blanket. Enjoy this time, be present, work on your goals as much as possible, but having a good balance where it's not going to impact your mental health or stress you out even more. You don't have to be perfect. Take it day by day. Progress is progress, little by little. That's all you need. If you love this episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below if you liked it or didn't like it. Any feedback I appreciate. I also would appreciate it if you shared any topics that you would love for me to talk about. Don't worry, I know that we had some requests about manifestation. I promise you that is going to come. I have something fun I want to share with you guys, but I'm waiting for the right moment. And again, I'm wishing you and your family and friends a very, very happy holiday. And don't forget to be mindful, because who you are from within will attract from the out. See you in the next episode. Bye, guys.